Shit. This is what I'm feeling like. Da, 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 da. Let me tell you what I'm feeling like. Da, 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 da. Let's talk Philly, hometown, North Philly. We just had a couple of weeks ago, we had a couple of kids beat on a 73-year-old man in North Philly, and the man passed away. They've now charged a 14-year-old girl and a 14-year-old boy, both with third degree, I believe, and also conspiracy, and they charged them as an adult. What's your whole take on the situation? Keep the C note with us.
As they should.
As they should what? What part? Let us know everything, John.
I mean, it's a messed up situation. It just makes us look bad. And I mean, and you can't really blame it on the parents. You can't. I mean, I think the parents, they have to take some responsibility. I mean,
why can't you blame it on the parents?
Because peer pressure nowadays is out of this world now in Philly. But still at the same time, the kid was too young, so that's why I still put it on that parent.
Oh yeah, I was about to say, because it's like 2-something in the morning, and you got like 10-year-olds out and wrong. All that. So the parents need to get a little attention on it.
Yeah, so
my thoughts. What you got, Vito?
First and foremost, at 14, no child at 14, I don't give a fuck what they do, should be tried as an adult.
I agree.
Because at that age, you don't know what the fuck. Even though you might be beating on somebody, you don't really know.
Yeah.
Even as an adult, to a certain age, you don't really know what the fuck is going on.
I agree.
I agree with that.
For one, for two, as far as the parents, you can give them some of the blame, but at the end of the day, when you young and you just running wild, it's not so much like what can your parents really do to you?
So they succumb to the peer pressure then at that point, right?
No, I'm just saying in general.
What I'm saying is,
if they running wild, what subjects them to run wild? There's elements that are put in place.
It's not everybody peer pressure, because if it's 5 people, the first person that set shit off, who's peer pressuring him? Nobody. He's setting it off. So
they all, you know how that go. They all amping each other up for somebody to
say.
So
what about when they out there on their own doing dumb shit? Because let's not act like we didn't do dumb shit on our own.
Yes, but I'm saying
can't blame
so that's why I also blame parents. It's not all the parents. It's not all on them, but they also have to take some blame.
Let me say something. Right, I agree with you. They should not be getting tried as adults for one. But here's the thing. It's a lot going on in this world, right? Me and my wife, we had a debate all the time and all that. Right now, you can't send your kids, go stay with Uncle Tommy for the weekend or Aunt Mary, because 9 times out of 10, people don't watch their own kids these days. So they're not going to watch your kids. What I'm saying is no way them kids was out. One of them, 10 years old at 2:30 in the morning.
So whose fault is that at that point?
That's what I'm saying. The parents have
What if they snuck out? What if the parents sleep and gotta go to work in the morning? Them kids snuck out and the parents don't know. How can you blame them? And on the flip side, you saying blame the parents. What about the other side, the rich people who have rich kids? Them kids getting the shit all the time, catch cases and all that shit.
They got the money to cover that shit.
But that's not just an excuse of saying because they got
no,
the money
it's
to
not.
cover it.
No,
I'm
it's
talking
not.
About what
right?
he just said. He said they got money to cover
they
it.
do. That's a reason.
But do you still blame the parents on that side?
Yes, you gotta blame the parents.
How? They got everything.
Just because they get to wash it away because they got all this money does not make them excuse them from being bad parents.
With the time out. What was messing a lot of people up these days is no matter how much money you have or don't have, is the attention you pay to these kids. If a rich parent is just giving the kid whatever they want, how you think so many rich kids overdose and all that? Because the parents is feeding them money and all type of gifts that they want, but they're not paying no attention to these kids.
Now listen to this. On the flip side, I know personally people that have one parent who was a crack fiend their whole life, was never there for them, and they never had a case, never got in trouble with the law.
Yes.
So you can't necessarily say it's the parents. You also got to.
I'm saying today, most of this is Listen, with
There's always
social
gonna be
media, time out.
exceptions.
With social media, you seeing these kids in multiple videos where they got guns in them. These parents got social media. They know what their kids is out here doing. What I'm saying,
You can't
as
stop that
what
shit.
I'm saying is, as a child, right? If I know that my mom is gonna be asleep at 11 and I can sneak out tonight, I can sneak out every night. So what I'm saying is, somewhere along the line, you need a little bit more attention on these kids because you don't know what the fuck is going on and they're living under your roof. That's my thing.
So how do you prevent them from sneaking out if you sleep?
You gotta come up with something.
What?
What I'm saying
listening.
is, I'm not even saying what I'm saying is you should know. It shouldn't take for a 73-year-old man to be dead for you to know, oh damn, my kid's been sneaking out 2-3 in the morning on the weekends. Like, no, that's you shouldn't see your kid with a gun on Instagram before you know he done shot 4 or 5 different
Come on,
dudes.
man.
Come on, bro. That's not
easier said
that's
than
not
done.
no, that's not paying
If
attention.
your child lives in a certain area and they be with a certain group,
Peer pressure.
even if they don't be with a group, because just on the strength of where you live, you're guilty by association. You probably don't
Yes.
even be in the street. You could be a school kid.
Yes,
On
but
the
what
strength
I'm
you live on
saying
this
is,
block,
if
get-
you don't pay no attention,
Come on, man.
if you don't pay no attention, what I'm saying is, right? If you can live in the best neighborhood ever, if you see these kids, every time I pull up at around 4 o'clock, these kids is out here doing, that's you being aware. Now you know that something is going on. Like, these parents don't know what's going on with their kids. Like, it's impossible, bro. Like, you telling me
Okay, you said it's impossible. So if it's impossible, that means they can't control the situation because it's impossible.
I don't know. I'm just saying, to me, I think these kids need a little bit more attention because, again, if you live in a neighborhood, right? I don't care how much you work. You know that Lil Ray from around the corner is a knucklehead. You know little Mook from 3 blocks over is shooting stuff. So as soon as the first time you see your son or your daughter with little Mook, that's when you supposed to take action. It shouldn't be 4 months later you find out that your kid's running around sticking people up with Mook.
Now, let me ask
That
you
shouldn't
this.
happen.
Now, when you see them with this kid and you tell him, yo, don't be around a kid, he a knucklehead.
Nah.
Hold on, you ain't let me finish. And you tell him, don't be around this guy because he into this, that, and the third. And then once you tell him, and then he goes back outside and he's around the kid, like, what do you do? What do you change? How can you keep him from around that kid? Because even if you keep him in the house, he still got to go to school. So he can be around that kid at school, after school, in between.
At least you know.
Even if you know.
What I'm
what good
saying
it
is,
if you
at
know,
least
and
you
can't do
know
nothing?
and you tried to do something. What I'm saying is a difference from you finding out they been hanging with Mook and them down the street and now he's on the news. They wanted for 3 murders. That's a difference. At least I know I tried. I did everything that I could. If I sent him to his dad, if he got a dad, I sent him to his grandmom. I did everything that I could do. You see what I'm saying? So whatever happens then, but what I'm saying, a lot of the times that's not happening with the parents. The parents are finding out when their kids are on the news, bro.
But this is my question. What does it make? What's the difference? What is the? Now, I know the difference, but what does it matter? Even if I told you don't do this and you still do it, or if I
Because
didn't, you
as
still
a,
fucking
you
do
can take, you can try to take actions. Like I said, you can
How?
try to.
What can you possibly do to
You
keep
can
your
send
child
the
from around that guy?
you can send the kid to live with somebody else.
And then that same Mook from your neighborhood, there's one in every neighborhood in the fucking world. and
Yes,
there's
but
gonna be
what
one
I'm
around
saying is you it's a difference from trying.
He gotta take.
I
I
understand, but it's a difference from you trying to you not knowing what's going on at all. That's totally 2 different things, Vito.
I
I
feel
don't.
like it's fucking worse if you're trying and you still can't get across to the child.
Nah, because my thing is once I send you somewhere else to your grandmom, to your aunt somewhere, and that don't work.
Other people don't watch their own kids.
What I'm saying is my family. What I'm saying is if I got a good kid right now, right? My kid is good, but he's hanging with these kids from that I know is in this stuff. Then boom, I can pull him away. I can send him to his grandmom's house. I can send him over here with the people that I trust. And then if that goes wrong, then we got to look at other options. But I'm not just going to be out here and don't know that my kid has been running around sticking people up with these other kids, especially.
You ain't gonna find out till something happens. He could have been doing shit for years, and you won't know.
Yes,
till
but
somebody
you
tells
will
you.
know when you see him with Lil Mook Mook in him. You already know where he's headed. That's what I'm trying
But
to
what
tell
if
you.
you don't never see him with them guys?
Come on, man.
What
Then
if your son is little Mook Mook the whole time?
It could be, but what I'm saying is somehow or another, as a parent, if you don't find out, it's no way you just out here fucking lost. It's too many newsy neighbors in this world, especially
not now.
in Philadelphia. Is newsy neighbors.
Newsy neighbors ain't like it was back in the
And
day.
time out.
It ain't the same.
It's a bunch of newsy neighbors today, and there's cameras everywhere.
The newsy
So
neighbors
so
ain't
your
the same
neighbor
at all.
from down the street that's newsy as shit, she got your son on camera when he punched somebody in his mouth with Mook Mook, and whether she told you or not, they know. So what I'm saying is you got, as a parent, to me, you got to be more in tune. But what's your thoughts, people? 2 kids, 2 14-year-old kids, a boy and a girl charged with 3rd-degree murder and conspiracy for beating an old man to death. 73-year-old man, how you feel about it? Keep it a C note. What you got to say?
I got a spin-off question for that. So if you seen your child on TV, you saw your child brutally attacked like this old man, and they're searching for your child, you as a parent, do you have your child turn himself in?
Fuck no.
No?
For legal purposes, I plead the 5th. I leave it at that. The lefty don't got no problem, man. I plead the 5th on that question. How about you, John? Keep it a C note.
It sound like his answer is yes.
Yes.
That question.
Keep it a C note, John.
I don't know. I haven't crossed every. I'm still processing on how I would even deal with that if my child did that. Like, damn. Because like if you don't turn yourself in, they know who you are. You're gonna be on a run for the rest of your fucking.
But
life.
are you turning your son in?
No, I'm not going to turn my son in. But I mean, I would give him. Like,
I
would lay out his options.
Here's the thing, real quick.
I would definitely
right?
lay out his options.
To me, like everything that I just said about the parents and not keeping an eye, not being on tune. This is from experience because I will keep it a C note and say I was those kids at one time. We used to do that. Punch on people on the streets for no reason, crackheads and all that. But I will also keep it a C note and say that my mom really didn't care what I did at a point in time.
Okay,
so I'm gonna keep it a C note.
You know why? Because you notice the key word you said at one point in time. Because the buildup of you keep doing dumb shit and her saying shit. She never said nothing to you about the dumb shit.
My situation was different because I think at one point in time my mom had me too young.
Did she ever check you about the dumb shit you did in the streets?
Yeah, she used to.
Exactly.
But
and
what I'm saying,
buildup of you not listening.
What I'm saying is a lot of the shit that I became was because of my mom. Because my mom, like I said, she was a kid when she had me. So when she got into her later years and she was hustling and all that, we seen all that shit. She had us right there in the mix of all that shit. So I always used to tell her that a lot of the stuff that she complained about me becoming was a lot of the stuff she played the part in. And I don't know if y'all seen the guy that just passed he was on death row and he's about to get executed. He wanted to read the letter to his mom. And he read the letter to his mom, and it was basically like, when I stole that first bike, you helped me hide the bike. When I did this, you helped me do that. So he's basically was saying throughout the years that you enabled me to do this shit. You know what I mean? And now when it got to a certain point and all that,
when you got to a certain age, you should know right from wrong, and I shouldn't be doing that dumb shit no more. Come on, man, you can't blame them. Let me ask you this though: as far as y'all saying peer pressure,
never say peer pressure.
Peer pressure. Do you ever heard of a product of your environment? Sometimes it ain't got nothing to do with peer pressure.
Yeah, that's environmental peer pressure.
Yeah, I never.
It is. That's another way of looking at it. I'm sorry. If this dude, I'm sorry, at whatever project or whatever, in room 101A, I'm sorry, they're all subjected to that lifestyle.
You ain't never heard of it?
There are going to be some special ones that make it out, yes, but for majority,
saying you turned this man into a monster. that if you live in
Yeah,
the
you
area
can turn
and
somebody
you're
into
not
a monster.
into no street shit, but you're from this area, and the other area is beef with you, and they know you from that hood, and they run down on you, that can turn that man into a monster.
Not just that. I know kids that was good kids.
Yes, I know.
And I'm talking about from my era. They were good kids and got shot on some stuff that they had nothing to do with, just being innocent bystander, and they turned into complete monsters. Just off of that. Good kids, just hanging around, might come out the store, you catch a straight bullet, all of a sudden you a
experience that made them change.
I can see that, but what I'm saying is, I never say peer pressure because I've never believed in peer pressure.
If y'all don't believe in peer pressure, going to any one of these middle and high schools. Wait. If y'all go to any one of these middle and high schools, and you're telling me that there's not peer pressure on how these young boys and how they all almost they're all almost uniform.
But let me ask you this: let's just go off experience. Because when we went to school, it's a lot of nut stuff that our homies, our squad did. And it was stuff that you indulged in. And then it was stuff that you like, nah, I'm not with that. And you didn't indulge in. So it wasn't like, come on, John. Like, it never was like none of that peer pressure. It was your own choice.
That's why I said peer pressure and parenting. Because I had the parenting aspect in the back of my mind that made me say, but
what I'm saying, peer pressure is more so if you say you don't want to do this and we like, come on, John. We never were like that. Never towards.
I'm not using.
But that's why I'm just saying you can learn off experience because it's a lot of people like you in neighborhoods that's going to be like, nah, I'm not with that. To me, peer pressure, when you use peer pressure, it's like enabling somebody that's doing shit because you're giving them an excuse on why they did it. But in all actuality, they was going to do it anyway.
It's about choices.
I see environmental peer pressure all the time, whether you might not see it in a way that, somebody amping you up, but it's what's socially acceptable in the neighborhood and what y'all going to keep doing because that's what we're used to.
But listen, I understand. I can't be peer pressure if I'm gonna do it or not. But my thing is that there's definitely peer pressure around because some people fall victim to it. Right. What I'm saying is, when I said before, if you got a group of kids, nobody's peer pressuring the one dude who sets it off because that's what he's into. That's what he wants to do.
And time out. Before we go to the next topic, I will say a lot of y'all mistake peer pressure. That's not peer pressure. Most of the time, that's manipulation. What it is one person can manipulate everybody else to do all type of nut stuff and be on the tight time that they're on. You see what I'm saying? So it's never peer pressure. It's just manipulation. And most of the time, like I said, you're not a fit in bunch. I'm not trying to fit in. So what I'm saying is, if they're going to go do something crazy and I'm not with it, I'm stepping off, no matter how y'all look at me. That's you. That's a choice. Yep. These other kids don't have that choice, but at the end of the day, nobody ever manipulated you or tried to manipulate you.
And let me add to that. And I respect that type of guy more than I respect the guy who would just run along and do anything. I respect you because if you say, if they say we about to go rob somebody, you say, I ain't into that. That means you're taking yourself out of that because if you're not into that and you get caught up, 9 out of 10 you're gonna snitch because you're not into that.
Right. And then the other guys that didn't take your path, but they got manipulated, most of them is gonna crack and tell. That's just how it go. So what's your thoughts on that, people? You see your kid on the video you was asking, would you turn them in? Keep it a C-note with us. We was just talking duos, right? Let's go NFL duos. Who's the greatest top 5 quarterback, wide receiver duos all time? Who you got? Keep it a C-note with us.
Who you got, Vito?
Let's get it, Vito.
No, I'm going to let y'all start it off.
I set it off. At number 5, shout out the team that I think will be playing this year in the Super Bowl, the Buffalo Bills. Jim Kelly, Andre Reed, they got busy for years. They went to 4 straight Super Bowls. They didn't get a win, but they definitely was getting busy. My number 4, Ramley, Kurt Warner, Torrey Big Game Hope, Torrey came right in the league with the greatest show on turf, won the Super Bowl over a stack his first couple years with Kurt Warner. Cemented itself as one of the greats. That's my number 4. My number 3, I gotta go Cowboys, Troy Aikman, Michael Irvin. They definitely got busy. Disclaimer for my number 4, it was split, so you can do Warner, Torrey Holt, or Warner, Isaac Bruce. They were that nice. My number 2, I got Peyton Manning and Marvin Harrison. Shout out Marv, straight out of Philly. They got busy. I don't know if they still got the record for most touchdowns together, but I know they was up there. My number 1 would also be a split / Joe Montana and Rice. Young and Rice, 49ers fans, you figure it out. Vito would probably go Young Rice more.
No, I go Montana Rice.
Okay.
Played together longer.
But yeah, I mean, they both played together, I think, 7 years, if I'm not mistaken from what I read.
No, I felt, but I'm talking about Rice was better with Montana.
Okay. So that's my 5. Who going next? Who y'all got?
At number 5, I got Michael Vick and Deshaun Jackson.
Call him a Uber right now. Pull your cup up. Pull his cup up. Just point to it. Just point to it.
Yeah, I'm biased. It's going to be
Yeah, it's
easy.
cool. Go ahead, be biased.
And then on 4, I got Aikman and Irvin. Then I got Young and Rice. Then I got Montana and Rice.
Okay.
And I got Peyton and Marvin.
Okay, at 1. Yeah, call this boy Uber. You better off saying McNabb and T.O.
How many Rams duos did you call out? 2?
Nah, just 1. It was just split. Whoever you want to take.
All right, my number 5, and the only reason why I gave them 5 because they wasn't together long, but what they did in that year, it was crazy. I gotta go Brady and Moss for that.
Yeah, I was gonna put them up there, but Reed and Kelly kind of trumped that.
But that's my 4, Reed. And I want to give you a shout out because I ain't knew nothing about Andre Reed.
Yeah. Shout out to that. I know a little bit, man.
My number 3, Peyton and Marv. You already know. My number 2 was Young and T.O.
Okay.
My number 1 was Montana and Rice.
Okay.
And just let me say this: Aikman and
Irvin
were great together, but if you go look at their numbers, they ain't all that eye popping.
They were still great together.
They were.
Shout out Marino, Mark Duper. That's probably another duo that I could have seen on there. A lot of lists I seen had Peyton and Reggie Wayne high too. So I don't know. What's your thoughts, people? Keep it a C-note with us. Top 5 greatest NFL duos, quarterback, wide receiver, who you got. Let us know. While we on the NFL, Justin Jefferson, he said Devontae Adams is the best receiver in the league. But he says after this season, he will be the best receiver in his league. How do you feel about that? Keep it a C-note. The whole statement. Pick whatever you want to pick from it.
I'm gonna go. I ain't mad at that statement because he's, in my opinion, like he's up in the top 5 right now. And he's playing with a quarterback who is not as good as a quarterback Devontae Adams had.
Okay.
And his numbers is crazy. What are he in 2 years?
Yep.
His numbers
3rd
crazy
year coming up.
for 2 years, and they do a lot of running with Cook.
Yep. What you got, John?
Same thing. I mean, I consider him to be like a top 3 NFL wide receiver coming into the year anyway. Yep. So, I think it's a little bold statement. I mean, but it's just confidence.
Mm-hmm. So, shout out to him for the confidence.
It's not far fetched because he's one of them top balls that actually has the potential to do it. So I mean,
ain't no doubt.
Yep. So.
Ain't no doubt. Shout out to Justin Jefferson for the confidence. My cup though, call him a Uber. I'm going to just say it one time. You got a chance to be the best receiver in the league. But right now, that's Cooper Kupp. I'm just keeping it a C-note with you. Let's go top 5. Defensive lineman. AFC right now. Who you got? Keep it a C-note.
Let me set it off.
Go ahead, Vito.
AFC, I got, now, it depends on how you look at it, because some of these guys
outside
linebackers, some of these guys, but I don't give a fuck what they talking about. I'm gonna put it like this. My number 5, DeForest Buckner.
Okay.
My number 4, Max Crosby.
Okay.
Number 3, Joey Bosa.
Okay.
Number 2,
Joey. Okay.
Yeah,
You
Joey.
put Joey Bosa. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead.
my number 2, Garrett.
Okay.
My number 1, T.J. Watt.
T.J. Watt. So you used a couple of the linebackers from last week.
But that's what I'm saying. I don't know.
Go on. We gonna let you
But
slide.
I'm saying, when I look up lineman, Watt is listed as a lineman, and Watt is also listed as a
Yeah,
linebacker.
but he listed as an outside linebacker. He's just an edge rusher, so that's why they got him as a lineman.
All right, so
Who-
it depends. It also depends on the system you run. 3-4-4-3.
Yeah, that too. Well, a lot of the edge rushers in the 4-3 is DEs. Pause. Who you got, John?
I got number 5. I got DJ Reader from the Bengals. I got
Okay.
Jeffrey Simmons from the Titans.
Okay.
DeForest Buckner from the Colts.
Okay.
I got Chris Jones from the Chiefs.
Okay.
And I got Cameron Hayward from the Steelers.
That number 1?
Yep.
See, you did interior defensive lineman. That's the difference.
You didn't put Myles Garrett on your list?
Shit.
But
Nope.
Myles Garrett ain't nothing
No,
but
he
the same
does-
as
no.
T.J. Watt.
He a defensive end.
yeah.
Myles Garrett.
See, yeah,
Listen,
th-
my top 5 is at number 5. I got Jeffrey Simmons from Tennessee, defensive tackle. Chris Jones at number 4 from Kansas City. He's a defensive end. Number 3, Max Crosby from Vegas. He's a defensive end. I think they said Max Crosby had the most pressures last year by like 15 over Aaron Donald. So anybody that can have anything over Aaron Donald, I salute you. My number 2, Cameron Hayward from Pittsburgh. Number 1, and Cameron Hayward is a DE. Pause. Number 1, Myles Garrett, defensive end out of Cleveland. You know what I mean? What's your thoughts, people? Your top 5 defensive linemen right now in the AFC, who are they? Now let's go to the NFC. I'll set it off. At number 5, I got Kenny Clark, Green Bay. He's a nose tackle. Number 4, I got Jonathan Allen, defensive end out of Washington. Number 3, Cameron Jordan, New Orleans, defensive end. He's still getting busy in his 30s. Number 2, shout out Vito Samuels. I got Nick Bosa, defensive end, straight out of San Fran. And my number 1, come on, man, Aaron Donald, defensive tackle, Super Bowl champion, LA Rams. Who y'all got? Keep it a C-note.
All right. I got lineman. Like
Okay, that's cool.
My number
Yeah.
5.
Our number 1 is the same, so it's good.
My number 5, of course, Fletcher Cox, Eagles.
Okay, shout out Fletcher. Fletcher ain't been that for like 4 or 5 years, but shout out to you. Should have put the other guy on there. What's his name? Hargrave. Yeah, you got him on there too. Oh,
He's my number
pardon
4.
me. Pardon me.
Hargrave, and then I got Jonathan Allen,
Okay.
Kenny Clark,
Okay.
and then I got your Aaron Donald.
Ooh. Okay. Who you got? Vito Samuels. No Nick Bosa.
But you know who I like though?
No Nick Bosa for you.
No Nick Bosa and you, but I like that. What's the big boy? Vita Vea from the
Oh,
Bucks.
Tampa Bay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Vita nice.
My number 5, I got Eric Armstead from the 49ers.
Okay.
My number 4, I got Cam Jordan, the old head.
Okay.
Number 3, I got Chase from the Commanders.
Okay.
My number 2, I got Bosa. And number 1, I got Aaron Donald.
Okay. Shout out to that. So you got Chase Young after the injury and all without seeing him again?
I'm talking about Chase Young as I've seen him get busy as of now. I don't know where he is after injury because he hasn't played yet.
Oh yeah,
But
that's
up
why
till
he
now,
that's why he didn't make my list. But what's your thoughts, people? We all know who number 1 in the NFC defensive lineman, but who's your top 5 defensive linemen in the NFC? Keep it a C-note with us. Shit. This is what I'm feeling like. Da, 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 da. Let me tell you what I'm feeling like. Da, 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 da.